Hello, my diamond painting friends, and welcome to another drill with me. This is Susan, and I am still working on my custom of my puppy. This is all I have left. I'm so excited. I feel like I've been working on this forever. It's been almost 2 months. So my goal is still to have her completed by the end of tomorrow, which is Sunday. Right now it is Saturday morning, a little after 5 o'clock in the morning. It is raining outside, lightning, thundering. So if you hear thunder, that's what it is. So I have, what I'm doing now is that I am just working the symbols, working each symbol completely. That way I'm completely done with that one. I have done 3 so far. I have completed the number 3, the rain is coming, the number 4, and then the half parentheses. Right now I'm going to be working on 310, which there's some right here and some around here. So that's what I'm going to be working on first. But I wanted to, I'm also going to be working on my Get to Know Me questions. I still got 50 on this page, but I still have quite a few others. We went to Barnes & Noble last night before the movie. We went and saw Captain Marvel. Excellent movie. Excellent. And I bought 2 books that I think will help with conversation starters. I know that I've seen a couple of people like Stitcherista and I believe What the Craft has been doing would you rather questions on their drill with me's. I had seen a list before I found the Get to Know Me questions about the would you rather, and I thought that that would be pretty interesting to do. But I don't want to do the same questions that they're doing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I found these 2 books. One of them is 3,000 Pick One Questions, and it's a pick this or that, and it's basically they give you 2 choices, Morgan Freeman or Samuel L. Jackson, and you say why. So there's 3,000 of these questions, which obviously I'm not going to do in one day or in one video. And then there are the 3,000 would you rather questions. For example, would you rather consult a Ouija board or a magic 8-ball for answers to your questions? Would you rather fake your own death and get a new life, or empty all your bank accounts and start over in a new country but still be allowed to contact people you know? So those kind of questions. So I figured we can go through some of these during my drill with me's just for fun and conversation starters. Let me know if you're interested. Last thing I want to do is bore everybody. So this one, and then the Pick One questions, again, I got them from Barnes & Noble. They were about $7 a piece with a 10% discount for being a member. So yeah, those are for later. I still got some Get to Know Me questions to do. Oh, there went my spoon. That's okay. I'm not going to use that. Like I said, it is about 5 o'clock in the morning. I have already ridden my bike. So I'm good to go. I'm going to have lunch with my sister later on and her husband and probably daughter. I'm giving her my extra iPad because her screen is going out on hers. So I had an extra one, so. And I'm just pouring them out because, like I said, I'm going to be doing each symbol to completion. So I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Right now I have 39 subscribers, which is awesome. I love every single one of you because you're taking the time to want to get to know me and everything. So that means a lot. I had a few suggestions for questions I could answer from Wendy from Gone Off My Meds. She gave me 3 questions I could answer. So the first one was, what did I get my master's degree in? I have my master's degree in project management. My bachelor's is in information technology with a concentration in web design. I have not used that, and it's been so very long since I've even worked on a web page that I would probably be completely lost right now. I would probably be like, okay, I will be using WordPress. So WordPress, I can maneuver myself around in WordPress. So that's that's about all right now. It's like, it's like the old adage: if you don't use it, you lose it, and that's how I feel about that. So, another question was, how did I meet my husband? I met my husband online. It wasn't through like a dating service or anything. It was actually, it's either Christmas evening or Christmas Eve. I was home alone. The kids were with their grandmother, their biological father's sperm donor. That's what I call him. That's all he's ever been. At her house. And I was just on the computer. I had AOL at the time. Y'all remember AOL, right? And I get this message from this person that did not know. He asked me, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm fine," basically. And so we just started talking, and it was like an almost instant connection with us. So we talked for a couple of weeks. I met him for the first time on January the 9th, which is my daughter's birthday. I actually went up to his place of work after it was on a Saturday. He worked at one of the Walmart supercenters on the weekends. And I had to stop at Walmart to pick up a gift for my daughter. So I decided to just go to that Walmart and just surprise him. And that's when we met. And we were inseparable ever since. That first week we were together, we had lunch every single day. He came up to my place of employment. And it was when I was working at the Walmart home office. He came up and we had lunch every day that week. So it was a good time, and we really connected, and we were inseparable ever since. So we've been together 19 years, married. It will be 15 in June. So yeah. And the third question she offered was, what are some of my favorite diamond painting companies to order from? Well, Every Moment, for sure. I've gotten all but maybe 2 of my customs from Every Moment. My other 2 customs I'd gotten from Stitch Diamond. I got a Seth Rollins and a picture of, it was like a mashup of Frozen and the Lich King from World of Warcraft. Arthas, she's sitting on a throne, a frozen throne, and she's got Frostborn with her. I will try to remember to insert a picture right here. So, I enjoy getting pictures from Color Whisper, Real Shining, Home Fun. Let's see. I have never ordered one directly from Huracan, but I did order one from somebody from a company that uses them. That was like one of the first few that I had ordered. Oh, and Diamond Art Club. I love Diamond Art Club. I've got so many of theirs that it's crazy. I need to start working on them. So, yeah, those are my favorite stores that I can just name right off the top of my head. So, can y'all hear the rain coming down? It's supposed to rain pretty hard for a couple hours and kind of die off. Our front yard looks like a gator swamp out there, because it will rain and then it'll rain hard and then it will stop for a day and then we get another heavy rain. So our ground never has a chance to dry before it starts raining again. And it's not spring yet, which reminds me, tonight on March 9th, make sure you turn your clocks up an hour if your state does, if you all partake in daylight savings time. We haven't really had a winter. I mean, I think we've only really had one, maybe 1.5 significant snowfalls, and even those weren't really anything too disastrous. If we had gotten snow as much as we had gotten rain this year, we would be in like blizzard situations. We would be like stuck in our house for 2 months probably. It's rained that much. So, and here it is raining again. I hope this doesn't stop my sister from coming down. So, all right, let's get on to the Get to Know Me questions. Back to that. Okay, so we went all the way to number 50. So now we're on 51. What is your favorite candle scent? I like lavender, I think. I actually have 2 candles currently in this room that is lemon, and they're from Yankee Candle. I haven't lit them yet, so I don't know what they smell like. And the jars were sealed, so I couldn't even open it in the store and smell it, so I can see what it tastes like. I like lemon, so I just kind of went with my gut. So, but lavender, maybe fresh linen. I like that smell. But yeah, there's not really that many that I am overly super crazy about. So, but you know, I'll go looking around, and if I see something that catches my eye and I can smell it in the store and I like it, I'll buy it. I may not ever burn it, but I like to leave it open. And my husband is dead set against candles. He does not like having candles in the house. So when I do light candles, I don't leave them lit for very long, so they seem to last a long time. Okay, let's see. What is your favorite social media channel? Probably YouTube and Facebook. I don't use Twitter. I tried using Instagram for my the little bit of time that I was doing bullet journals and coloring, and yeah, that didn't go very well. That was like over in like 3 days. So it's got maybe 4 posts on it total on that whole Instagram channel. So, yeah. Where is your favorite place to take an out-of-town guest? Probably Abuelo's. If you remember my last drill with me, I mentioned that restaurant. I got to take my mom there maybe once when we first moved into this home. So my chair is squeaky. So yeah, probably Abuelo's. What was your favorite subject in high school? Probably my math classes. I really enjoyed math. My geometry teacher from the 10th grade, she was really cool. She was, from my second half of my 10th grade year until I graduated, I was her student aide. I enjoyed spending time with her. I thought that she was my favorite teacher. She did my favorite subject. I didn't mind sitting in her class, listening to her teach. So that would have to be my favorite subject, was any math class. And what was your least favorite subject in high school? Anything science. I was not a very proficient science person at all. Science and me did not get along. I think that's all my 3 10s. Let me do a quick double check. Oh, did you hear about Alex Trebek? I heard that he got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. That's awful. That's the same thing Patrick Swayze had. Okay, that is all my 3 10s. I can say that my 3 10s are done for this picture. What was your favorite TV show when you were a child? That one's easy. Probably showing my age a little bit, but I would have to say my favorite TV show when I was a child was Three's Company. I loved that show. I loved John Ritter. He was the funniest thing in the world to me, and I miss him so much. And it kills me because he died on my birthday, and I hate that. But Three's Company, I own the Three's Company DVD set, so I can watch that anytime I want to. But yeah, that was my favorite show as a child, was Three's Company. Okay, what do I want to do now? Let's do 356. Cover up all of these areas right up here. Get those taken care of. See, the rain just comes down and then it just stops. Comes down hard and then it stops. It's very annoying. Okay. What do you love about your favorite TV show? Well, if you're talking about the show that I just mentioned, it had to be Jack Tripper, John Ritter's character. So, he was always getting into messes and having to try to find his way out of them. So, kind of holding my arm up here weird because I don't want to touch the canvas. Okay, next question. Are you scared of heights? I don't think so. But I don't really go anywhere that would constitute me being high. If that makes any sense. I used to be afraid of flying until a couple years ago when I had to fly to Colorado for work, for a meeting. But I don't think I'm very scared of heights. I think I'm pretty, yeah. Like I said, I don't get up on roofs or anything like that, so I've never really been up in a very tall building having to look down. So I don't know. Maybe if I ever had to be faced with a situation where I was really high up, I would have an answer to that question. So, are you high maintenance? Oh boy. To a degree, maybe. Just because I do suffer from a mild form of depression that I take medicine for. That as long as I'm taking my medicine, I'm fine. I'd like to think I'm not very high maintenance. I guess I have to ask my husband that sometimes. So he'd probably be the better person to answer that question than I am. So, are you more inclined to build your own empire or unleash the potential of others? I have no idea what they're asking there. So I think I shall pass on that one. Just because I don't want to be idiotic and answer a question that is not the core of the question, if that makes sense. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? I am definitely a avoid conflict type of person, just because I don't like being in fights. I usually get very quiet and don't talk when confronted with somebody. I prefer to avoid it just all the way around. Even when it comes to my sisters. If my sisters are fighting or anything, I just clam up. Don't talk. Leave the room. So are you a dog person or a cat person? I always used to believe that I was a cat person because I always seemed to want cats. Until I got Ray. The first time I saw her, I instantly fell in love with her. She was one in a litter. She is part Chihuahua, part Beagle, mostly Beagle. And the first time I saw her, I knew it was. My husband even says it was like an instant connection between us. She became my world. Now, saying that, I still love my cat Padfoot. He is, when we got Padfoot, we got him in a litter of 4. He had one brother and 2 sisters, and we took them all at the same time. They were a unique litter because none of them looked alike. Every single one of them has something different about them. It was Padfoot. He is a, we call him our tuxedo cat. Then there was Bobby. He was white with brown coloring around him, and he had a bobtail. And then there was Shadow, who was all black. She was completely black, and she had the softest fur. And then there was Bandit, who was a dark calico. She wasn't the white calico with the coloring. She was a brown calico. So they're all from the same litter, but they all were extremely different. And we went ahead and took all 4 of them. And then 3 of them died. So we just had Padfoot, and we've had Padfoot for as long as we've been married. So in November he will be 15 years old. He's been with us for 15 years. And him and Ray do not get along very well. Padfoot did not like the intrusion of the dog coming in. Padfoot was used to having the run of the house whenever he wanted. So he did not like it when this little pup came along and started demanding all the attention. And now Ray, she doesn't like it when Padfoot even comes near us. I don't know what she thinks she's protecting us from, but she thinks that she's protecting us from something with the cat. So every time she catches me petting Padfoot, she looks at me like I have just broken her heart. Like I have just completely devastated her. And it's actually kind of funny in a way, but I don't know what to do with that. I think that if something ever happened to either one of them, I think the other one would be devastated. Just because they have spent the last 3 years together. Are you a fan of any sports teams? Yes, I am a fan of the New England Patriots. I believe I mentioned this before. I've even got a Tom Brady diamond painting that I have unboxed. So, yeah. That's NFL. As far as college, I'm a fan of the Oklahoma Sooners and the Arkansas Razorbacks. My husband finally converted me. So I hear my daughter moving around in her room. Are you a good cook? Yeah, I would have to say I'm a pretty decent cook. I cook a mean fried chicken. But yeah, for the most part, I'm a pretty good cook. I haven't had any complaints. So I don't think I'm as good as my mom. My mom was a terrific cook. So the rain was coming down hard. Now it's Not coming down at all. If it is, it's just drizzling. Are you an early adopter or late adopter? What does that mean? If anybody knows what that means, comment below and I'll answer it in the next video. If you had more courage, what would you do differently in your life now? I would probably have stuck up more for myself at my last job. I think that I let too much be said about me and about my quality of work. That if I was a bit more open about my feelings with that maybe I could have somehow saved my job somehow. I don't know. I mean, they were pretty adamant, I think, about letting people go, and I just kind of fell in that wayside. So yeah. Again, I don't think these are popping up. I think that's just because I haven't placed them down right all the way. So, what is good about how you're living your life right now? Everything is good. I'm happy. I am working towards being more healthy, along with my husband. I have my family around me. So I think everything's good. I think that, yeah, my life is going pretty good right now. I have my new hobby that I really enjoy. Look at that. I've missed one. Always, always, always. What color was that again? It's 37.78. You think you get them all, and then you completely miss one. I was like, every single time. Okay. If you could eliminate one weakness or limitation in your life, what would it be? Okay. Tell y'all a little something about myself. I have lymphedema in my left leg. What that means is that my leg gets, my circulation does not work the way it's supposed to in that leg. Fluid builds up, my leg swells up. And if I don't keep what is known as a Job stocking on my leg will balloon to about 5 times bigger than normal. It is a condition I've had since I was 16, and it is my biggest weakness. I call it that because the stocking that I have to wear is very cumbersome. It's very difficult to put on once I take it off, and the stockings are not cheap because you have to keep that, you have to keep stocking that, and insurance doesn't cover something like that. So I do not get to wear shorts. I don't go outside in public where my leg can be seen by people, even when it's in a stocking. I don't. I get enough people staring at me as it is. I don't need to add to that. So I don't wear short dresses. I wear dresses that go to my knees. When I do wear dresses, they go all the way down to my feet. Um, I don't wear shorts in the summertime. I don't go to public pools. I'm not supposed to swim pools anyway, but I don't go anywhere where my leg can be exposed to the public. Just very self-conscious about that. So that is my one weakness / limitation. Probably hasn't helped me with my job path, because I think that people assume that I'm not professional because I can't show up to work or to an interview in a dress, heels, whatever, I have to wear pantsuits. And I think that I always felt that had always gone against me when I would go for job interviews. So, yeah. That's my biggest weakness, my biggest thing about myself that I do not like. So, I think I mentioned before that when I had gotten a spider bite, it was on that leg, which probably made it worse. So I've had a couple of surgeries done on that leg. But yeah, it's just, I'm going to stop that right now because that's getting way too depressing. So I don't want my channel to be depressing. So, okay, next one. Who has left the most impact on your life? I guess it depends on if it was a good impact or a bad impact. A bad impact, I think, would have to be my ex-husband, the kids' sperm donor. Yes, that's what I call him. He's probably had the most negative impact on my life, just for the simple fact that I was not happy when I was with him. He cheated on me a lot. He never worked. He would lie about working, said he had a job when he didn't. And it made me hard to trust anybody. After I left him when Jasmine was just a couple of months old. It took me 5 years to find somebody that I could love and trust again. And then I guess I would have to say that my husband now has had the most positive impact on my life, just because I shudder at where I would be right now if I didn't have him. If he wasn't in my life, I don't even want to contemplate what life would be like without him. So, yeah. What aspect of your life needs tremendous improvement? Probably the one thing that we're working on right now, which is our health. I'm trying to get off of the medications I'm on. The high blood pressure and the diabetes medicine. So we're both working on our health, which is what needs the biggest improvement right now. So What's the weirdest thing you've seen in your life? I have no idea. I can't think of anything that I've seen that's been really weird. I might have to come back to that question if I can think of something later on. So, who was the best teacher you've ever had? Okay, I answered this one earlier. That would be in my 10th grade geometry teacher, Mrs. Hannah. She was my favorite teacher. She was the one that I felt like I learned the most from. So, who is the biggest pack rat you know? Probably myself. I'm not a hoarder, but I do have a tendency to keep things that could probably be best gotten rid of. So, let's see. Sorry, dead silence. Dead air, dead air, dead air. Okay. Who is the first person you call when something exciting happens? Well, if my husband isn't with me when it happens, he's probably the first person I call. And not to sound like I'm feeling sorry for myself or anything, but he's probably the only person I would call. I would probably call my sister and let her know, but yeah, he's probably the only person that I'd call. He's my best friend. He's put up with a lot from me. A lot. And so I think every day that he still loves me and wants to be married to me. So, yeah, he's the first person I call when anything ever happens. Like I said, unless he's with me when it happens, and then he's not. And I guess in that case, that if it's something that my sister can know, I will call her and let her know. Now I flipped this to work on it this way. And it bothers me because my picture is folded up over the top of the desk. Let me show you. Oops, sorry. So I'm hoping that that's not going to do harm to it. The last thing I need is something to happen to this after all this work I put into it. But I need to try to do it this way because a lot of my other pictures are landscape. So I need to get used to it. Let's see. I think I got all of them. Oh, there's one. I can't tell how long. Oh, sorry. See my face in there. Okay, we're up to 75. Who is the first person you call when something horrible happens? Again, it would have to be my husband. He is the first person I called when I got laid off. And I was like, I need to come see you right now. And so he's like, well, come see me. I went to his work and he came out and we talked for a while. And I was in tears because I honestly love that job. I love the people I worked with. I love the people that I worked next to. I love the people in Colorado that I worked with. I mean, it devastated me. And I guess I should have seen it coming. Just because I reorganized the job a little bit. So now it seems kind of funny that now they've got people quitting and they're having to juggle people around. All the automation stuff that they wanted to start working out hasn't been working very well for them, and it's karma, in my opinion. I mean, I don't wish ill will towards any of the people that do the job, but it just seems like, you know, what comes around. So who is the worst boss you've ever had? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. The worst boss I had was the one that hired me for that position that I just got laid off for. She wasn't my boss when I got laid off. She had been moved to another team, and the boss that took over from her, I thought was going to be an improvement. It didn't necessarily work out that way. See, what happened is that I worked remote for a little over a year, and then there was something that I didn't do. I got a coaching, and I was sent to work in the office instead of being able to work from home. And when I was first told I had to work from the office, I was told that we would revisit it at the end of March, once I fixed what it was that they said I had done wrong. So I did that. Everything was fixed. Everything was perfect. And then they found another excuse to keep me in the office. They said, oh, well, we'll take another look at it around Memorial Day. And I'm like, okay. Memorial Day come, and that was about the time that she got changed to another team, and I got a new manager. So I had to wait for that transition. And then once that transition occurred, I gave it a little bit of time, and then I went and talked to her about going back to the being able to go back remote. And she would come up with reasons why I couldn't go back home. Now, in this interim, there was somebody else who had gotten a coaching and who had to come back to the office, but she only had to come back to the office for 2 weeks. And I believe what she had done was a bigger, worse, more infraction than what I had supposedly done. So they kept me in the office, pretty much told me that I was not going to be working from home anymore. And then October, they let me go. They let 12 people go that day. Some that were a complete shock when I heard who was let go. But anyway, back to the deal with being the worst boss. She threw a fit whenever I asked to leave even just half an hour early on a Friday. And with that job, if you worked late on days or you took a shorter lunch, there was the potential that you could leave early on a day, because as long as you got your 40 hours and you got your job done, it was, and they didn't want overtime, so you would clock out early. Well, she would throw a hissy fit if I wanted to leave even just half an hour early. I told her one day that I needed to leave early so I can go pick up my husband because we were going to go see a movie. And she used that against me later on for her own selfish reasons. And then she'd be like in a meeting with her team, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to her saying, oh, well, I want to be offline the rest of this afternoon because I gotta go plant a tree. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, she even threw a fit because I went and got my windshield fixed on my truck, or that I needed to go pick up my truck from the tire shop because I had to get new tires put on it. I mean, every little thing that I did was wrong in this person's eyes. And it just got to a point where, I was miserable. I loved my job, but I was miserable being around. I mean, I wasn't around her because she got to work from home. She worked in Minnesota. So she got to be home. But every time she called, it's like I dreaded it. Every month during our monthly evaluation, I dreaded it because she would inevitably bring something up that I had somehow done some kind of wrongdoing. And I'm not saying this to like be a victim or something, or to make myself sound like feel sorry for me or anything, but I mean, that's just the way it was. So, anyway, sorry, went kind of off on a tangent there. Can you close your eyes and raise your eyebrows? No. To me, that is a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson thing, and I will never be able to accomplish it. Can you do a split? Nope. Even before the situation with my leg happened, I couldn't do a split. I could do a cartwheel. I could never do a split. So, no. Can you touch your nose with your tongue? Nope. No, I cannot. Can anybody do that? I don't know. I don't even know anybody that could do that. So, where my tweezers go? Can you whistle? Not very well. I put my lips together and I blow and just air comes out. Sometimes it comes out in a whistle, but usually it's just air. Can you dance? Not very well. I like to make a fool out of myself dancing, but I can't dance. Do you remember your dreams? Vividly, I remember my dreams. I need to start keeping a dream journal. Because my dreams are extremely extremely weird. I had the weirdest dreams in like the history of weirdest dreams when I was pregnant with my son. I mean, I had dreams that like I had dreams that their grandmother took them from me and hid them in a room and they were never found. And then I'd have a dream that I had a daughter and then but when she was born, she came out the size of an 8-year-old, literally. So yeah, that was a nightmare. But yeah, my dreams are very vivid. The dreams that seem to be the most vivid are the ones that involve my parents. I had so many dreams about my dad after he died, about him being alive and coming back alive, and oh, he wasn't dead after all, he was just undercover and now he's home. I mean, it was just some crazy dreams that I had after he passed. And now I'm like having them about my mom, but not as much as I did about my dad. I don't know what that means. So, but yeah, I remember my dreams vividly. Do you save old greeting cards and letters or throw them away? Probably both. I printed and saved every single one of my letters that me and my husband sent to each other when we first were dating. So we would send emails back and forth to each other. Before we met in person. And I guess after we met, the emails just kind of got a little bit more saucy, I guess you could say. So, because the only time we could really spend together, you know, were lunch times and on the weekends because he worked nights. So do you sing in the shower? No. No, I get in the shower and all I do is do my thing and get out. Just for the simple fact that I don't want to stand on my leg for too long. So I do what needs to do, what I need to do, and I get out. No time for singing. So, do you sleep with the lights on or off? Off. I don't remember ever a time that I slept with the lights on, even when I was a kid. So, I'm going to need some more drills. Let me go ahead and get some more. Do you spell the color as gray with an E or with an A? I spell it with an A. No? Yeah? Yeah. I spell with an A. Is there a difference? They're like, one country does it one way, yeah, another country does it the same other way. Like, color and flavor is spelled differently. So, look, I missed another one. Go figure. Do you take any medication or pills daily? Yes. I take 3 pills a day. One for my diabetes, one for my anxiety, and one for my high blood pressure. My high blood pressure has actually gone down in dosage, so that's improving. But yeah, that's what I take every day. Do you prefer people shoot straight with their word with you or temper their words, and why? Probably a little bit of both. I prefer people, if they're curious about me and my condition, I prefer that they just come up and ask me instead of staring at me like I'm a freak. I don't like people pussyfooting around with me. You know, just say what you gotta say. If it hurts my feelings, it hurts my feelings. But I'd rather just know. Don't hedge. Don't do anything. Just say what it is that you gotta say and get it over with. That's why if I would have preferred if they had told me at work that they were never going to let me go back home, instead of giving me all these things that I have to do to potentially be able to get back home. So if they had just told me, Susan, we're not going to allow you to go back home, I would have been, I would have hated it, but at least I wouldn't have kept trying my damnedest to walk through all these obstacles that they had me do just to be able to work back from home. I mean, it got old very quickly. So, do you prefer kissing or cuddling? Why has there got to be an or in that question? What's wrong with both of them? I like both. I like it. I like kissing and I like cuddling. So I'm just going to say both. Just play it safe. Say both. Everybody's happy. Do you prefer Titanic or The Notebook? Hello. Titanic all the way. Just my diamond paintings alone should hold proof to that one. But God, I love that movie. I saw that movie probably 15 times in a movie theater. It was when it came out at a time that I was by myself. And every time that the grandmother had the children, I was going to the movie theater to watch Titanic. I even went to the drive-in and watched it when it was in the drive-in. I could not get enough of that movie. It was, the first time I saw it was on a date. Never really saw that guy again, but that's okay. I wasn't interested. But the movie held my attention, and I went and saw it a few more times. So, yeah, I was a Titanic nerd. It was my favorite movie. It is still my favorite movie. There are a lot of movies that I like as much, but not more than Titanic. So I got my husband to watch it one time. Probably never get him to watch it again. He was not very overly enthused about the movie, but I did get him to watch it one time. So I'm looking to see if there's any more of that color, or if I can be done with that one. excuse me, I'm tired. Might finish these questions and call this one good for now. I keep seeing hair on my drills. Where did I see that at? And my hair is so long that I just lose strands. Okay. Pull this one good. That was smooth. Okay. I'm gonna have plenty of drills left over. Everybody said that you would with every moment, so okay. Number 91. Do you have a catchphrase? I don't know if it's so much as a catchphrase as it is just a phrase I like to say. But I like to say, and I'm stealing this directly from The Walking Dead and Negan, I like to say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't know why, but I do. Yeah. So, do you have a garden? No, I don't have a garden right now. I would like to eventually have a garden. But we'd have to do something different about our yard out there. The swamp. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do the stars next. So that's 317. Okay. Do you have a hidden dream that you've never shared with anyone? No, I think that the only dream I've ever had, people know. I mean, I used to do a lot of writing, so it always maybe wanted to be a author. So, but my problem was is that I never could start. I never could finish anything that I start because I get bored. So I stick to the reading of the books instead of the writing of the books. Every once in a while I will put pen to paper or put my fingers to the keyboard on a laptop and type something out and think it sounds pretty good, and then a day later I go back and reread it and I'm like, ugh. Yeah. So I used to write fan fiction is what I used to write. I used to write stories about anybody and everything. So, yeah. Do you have a tattoo? No, I don't. I don't really want a tattoo for myself, but I do like to watch tattoo shows. One of my favorite shows is Ink Master. Watch that every season it's on. Very happy about this past season because the person I wanted to win won. Both in the mentor part of it and the competition part of it. So that made me happy. Because the previous season, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like who won the previous season. So, do you have a whole lot of acquaintances or just a few very close friends? And why? I have a whole lot of acquaintances. I don't have a lot of close friends. Most of the people that I consider close friends, I got from my husband when I'm with him. I don't keep in contact with anybody from high school. I did for a while, but that just kind of fell to the wayside. So she kind of unfriended me on Facebook. And I don't know why. I guess because I didn't go to her daughter's birthday party. I don't know. I'm like, where were you with my children? So, yeah, most everybody is acquaintances. I do have one person that I consider a friend from my old job. I guess maybe two. We still text each other back and forth. So, had a lot of similar experiences with the people on that job. So, we kind of connected in that way. Do you have any allergies? No. If I do, they have never manifested. So I don't have any allergies at all. Do you have any birthmarks? If so, and where? No, I don't have any birthmarks either. So yeah, just I'm pretty boring, pretty predictable. So number 98. Do you have pets? Well, I think I've answered this question about 4 or 5 different times. Yes, I do. I have Ray, who is my puppy, and I have Paffett, who is my kitty, and they are my world, and I don't ever want anything to happen to them because I would be devastated. Devastated. I would be very inconsolable. So, they have to live forever. Forever and ever. And I've told them that. And they agree. They told me so. In meow language and wolf language. You believe me, right? Did I just mention I was weird? Number 99. Do you hold any convictions that you would be willing to die for? I would die for my children. Anybody hurt one of them, I would go to the ends of the world to rectify it. I am very protective of them. They may not think so anymore, but I still am. I'm kind of one of those psycho moms that, yeah, don't touch my kids. Don't hurt my kids. I will hurt you back. And I'm not a fighter, but I would do anything for them. So I'm trying to see if I'm done with the stars. And to stop yawning. Oh, there's one. So yay, I found one that would have gone unnoticed. I am so proud of myself. I should pat myself on the back. And I think that is all. But you know, I will find one afterwards. You know it. I know it. It will happen. Well, let's go ahead and put it away anyway. Okay, number 100. Do you carry a donor card? I do not carry a donor card, but I believe it says on my driver's license that I am a donor. So, is that the same thing as having a donor card? So, alright. Well, that is all the questions that I have for these right now. My other questions are still sitting on the printer in the bedroom. So, we are looking at, let me turn my, ooh, I'm over an hour. So, this is what it looked like when it has the light on. Oh no, where'd that one come from? Is that just an extra drill that fell out? I ran my hand across it and one just came. Well, I don't see one for a symbol that I've already taken care of, so maybe it's just one that came out. Okay, I'll put it over here. Okay. Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and end this for now. I may go ahead and continue working on this, just because I do want to get it done. But I have some inventories to do as well that I need to get posted. If y'all are interested in that, so I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Have a good weekend. If I don't see you or talk to you before now and then. So, bye-bye.